have heard of the Dallas Music Office? Yeah. Oh, that's more hands than I thought was going to go up. How many of you know what we do? Okay. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background as to why it was created, and then how you can take advantage of it. So we are an extension of the Texas Music Office. Dallas is a music-friendly certified city, and with that comes a physical office. And we are located within Visit Dallas, which is the marketing organization for the city of Dallas. So we have one boss, that is the city. So everything we do is around heads and beds, tourism, drawing people into the city. So this office, because it lives within Visit Dallas, originally, I will tell you, I'm expanding it, but originally it was like everything we did had to have a tourism draw, like something to amplify what Dallas has and what is going on here. So before I took on this, I met with 30 different people in the industry. I had 7 consistent questions asking, what does Dallas need? You know, all the questions. And I wanted to see if I could find like a baseline and just hear some consistency. And I met with Desi, and one of the things that he said was, if we're a music-friendly city, why do you not hear music when you're walking around? And I was like, oh, well, I think that's something I can take care of. So one of our first programs that we launched is we launched September 19th, so we ran it for about 2 months, is a busking program downtown. And we partnered with DEA to find appropriate locations. Everybody got a little mini amplifier to do it, a little sign with digital tipping. Everybody was announced on KXT, like where they were standing and performing at what time and what location downtown. And ultimately, so that was the pilot. And we just kind of want to like work out the kinks. We had 7 artists that agreed to be our guinea pigs. In January, we're going to have an audition. So this is based on MUNI, which is Music Under New York, where they audition in Grand Central Station. They get placed, they get signs, they get locations that are, so the police don't harass you until you go away. Ultimately what we're gonna do is try to find young and medium-sized artists that are, interested in doing this, and put them through sort of a professional development program. So not only will they be performing live within our public spaces downtown, we will eventually move to Deep Ellum, that's another animal, but I just have to make it work for 1 year in downtown. So along with having their locations, making sure they show up on time, how do you publicly speak? How do you talk about your art? How do you ask for money? All of these things, we'll get them through the program for 1 year, and then they're automatically put onto our public directory for hire. The 7 artists that we had this last fall have already all gotten gigs. So they were all hired, I think, at least once. We know one has gotten 3 jobs from it. So in a very short period of time, and 2 hours at a time, like in public spaces. So I feel very strongly that like if we can just start getting our Dallas-based artists out there that are interested in just putting themselves out there, working through some kinks in their own music, that's what's great about this is you just work through your stuff and see what works, what doesn't, if you're singing to a dog or 20 people, like whatever. And then we're working on getting some sponsors so that every X number of gigs, we can give a small stipend to kind of move you through this program.
That's fine.
I should say this office has no money. I will tell you that. I am scrappy, and I'm figuring out all of the partnerships I possibly can to make all of this happen. In addition, so that was our big launch. We also hosted the regional Grammys 2 weeks ago. I've heard two different things. One said it's never been in Dallas, and another said it hasn't been here since the 80s. So regardless, it's been a minute since Dallas is hosted, and because it went off without a hitch, we are hosting it for 2 more years. So, I'm very excited, everybody.
Hopefully we'll have some new members and members in there.
Yes, yeah. So, upcoming, so for next year, that was like, 6 months. That was a lot to get launched. But the other things that I heard was education for young artists, sort of one-on-one programming, helping them understand what's next, right? Wherever you are in your development process, what's next? Well, that's something our office can do. We have access to many different avenues and communities that we can bring together and like today, thank you, Desi, to really help you know what is available, because he's not wrong. There are tons of grants. They all have tick boxes that you have to align with that grant, but there are tons in this city. There is money available to everybody. So there are, but if you don't know, you don't know. And so the idea is, we hope to be a resource and a one-stop shop for Dallas-based artists. We are launching a 501c3 this next year. I'm biting off so many big pieces, but one of the things that we heard was healthcare. We heard that 2 people ago. So, Austin has HAM, Fort Worth has Sound Cares, and I was like, God, I wonder what that would look like for Dallas. So I've been meeting with Parkland and their system and trying to figure out what that would look like. And I anticipate that by this time next year, we should have health care for Dallas County-based artists. If I say it out loud, it's going to happen. Right? What else are we? I feel like we're doing 10,000 things. What am I forgetting?
I know this is a good, but it's student document stuff. Tell me about the CAP.
Oh, CAP?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a community arts program. That is through the Office of Arts and Culture. They host auditions, and you have to apply, but it's gig-based, right? So if you, as an artist, are selected to perform, somebody puts in an application and says, I wanna hire Desi at our block party. And they'll go to Desi and say, hey Desi, here's the time and date, are you available, are you interested? And there's a base, it's a solid base pay, is it not? Yeah.
It is a base pay. That's
Yeah,
all.
it's a base pay. For the gig, they make sure that, the artist isn't getting overworked. They do make sure that it's a certain number of hours, and they really kind of restrict it. They're protective of their roster. And then the city pays the artist so that the block party doesn't have to. Yeah. So it's the Office of Arts and Culture, CAP Artist Program, so CAP, Community Arts Program, I think is what, yeah. And they actually have Arts Activate, they have, I'm trying to think, there's another one. But, there really are quite a few. And I will say, so back to the Dallas Music Office, I forgot. So one of the things we're gonna do through the 501c3 is launch a grant program for touring. So the idea is that if you tour, I think we're looking at three cities, 2 or 3 locations. And if you just say, hey everybody, I'm from Dallas, come back to Dallas, come see our awesome scene here in Dallas, then we'll give you your gas money and touring. So we're trying to...
Wait, what? I just had a stroke. What did you say?
Yeah. So this has to be through the 501c3. That's why, like, being within Visit Dallas, I was restricted because it's hot funds. I don't know if you guys know what that is, hotel occupancy tax. So that has to be spent on tourism. So marketing people to come to the city. And so that kind of restricted like what our office could do. And so I of course went to our CFO and was like, hey, how about a 501c3? And she's like, if you build it, we can do it.
I love that.
And so one of the things I want to launch through the 501c3 is a touring grant.
And I believe right now, if I'm not mistaken, the Texas Music Office is offering grants for tours, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Is
it's,
it the $500?
yeah, something like that.
Something like
Yeah,
that, yeah, so even through the Texas.
they'll just offset your cost.
Yeah, they'll
Yeah,
offset your.
and if you're not familiar with the Texas Music Office, they're amazing too. So you should look to them for sort of the broader community. We're under their umbrella. I feel like there's something I'm not telling you because we're doing 10,000 things, but follow us at Dallas_Sounds. We will announce anything, all of our auditions, any upcoming panels, any education things, and yeah, all the stuff. Oh, we're gonna have harmonized happy hours where we'll invite industry people and artists and have a cap on how many people are in the space so that people can actually have a one-on-one moment. Any questions?